Good day, everyone. In the news now is an article in News 24 that I was expecting from the beginning of the news that there was a fire that started at Parliament. And I remember saying to my wife that they're going to make Patricia de Lille the fall person for this, and that she was probably put in a position exactly for that purpose. And it must be quite bittersweet for her because she is a career politician, a strategist, and she knows how to get people back if she really wants to. And I don't want to divulge any further information on that, but maybe they are messing with the wrong person at this stage. But let me get to the bottom of why I say that she will be used as a full person. As a minister in a portfolio, you are not responsible for swinging the valves, doing the dirty work. You are supposed to look at the oversight of everything, and all you can do is look at reports that many other people give to you and then make decisions based on that. When it comes to fire systems, they are regulated. So the same as the fire systems in Parliament, which is a national key point, there are very specific regulations that has to be followed. And all those regulations were followed. In other words, inspections were made, and then people give suggestions as to how you can improve things. And often when those suggestions are made, it doesn't mean that that is law or rule or anything like that. This happens all the time, and especially when contractors are involved and back pockets are involved and tenders are involved, people will try and solicit money anyway. Because when you install a fire sprinkler system, when those people put it in and the monitoring systems with it, they're already thinking, oh, 5 years down the line, I want to upgrade this to another system. We have to keep on making money. Because if you put a proper system in, that's going to last for decades, and that's not good for business. So I want you to see the business side of things here. Now, I'm not trying to defend Patricia de Lille. I'm a fan of no person. So I'm giving you the raw facts as I see it. And what they discuss in this article and the headline tells me that she's going to be a full person. She will be thrown under the bus, but Auntie Pat will come back fighting like you cannot believe. Whether good or bad is irrelevant. And like I said, I don't take sides in anything, but they're messing here with the wrong person. She has dirt on so many people. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out because this is like a mini Zuma gate. The Lil accused of misleading Parliament on state of Parliament sprinkler system. Okay? Now, when I read what these people said in the reports, this report is actually being kept very quiet and very specific things are being handpicked and nitpicked out of it. And these things are nitpicking. This is not something that you can say the minister is just not capable of doing a job or whatever the case may be. All valves that are important in a building such as that would have been inspected. It will be part of the inspection, fire hose, reels, fire uh, uh, um, extinguishers, etc. They will have a demarcated area, and you might want to put up additional signposting because most of the time the parliamentarians might be too stupid to see a fire extinguisher, and you have to like literally paint it out for them. But besides that, if you look at them speaking, and I'm not going to go into the details of the entire article, it's fairly long. I'll put it in the description below this video. Every parliamentarian that walked past the fire door that was held open with these little latches, they are criminally liable. They are culpable because anyone with a bit of savvy, and any parliamentarian should have that savvy, should have a basic understanding of science, or they should not be in parliament. They should have seen, hey, this fire door is latched open. This is not something that we should be doing. These fire doors should always be closed. If they are not closed, there should be a fire watch in place. In other words, a person checking that area every so often, every half an hour, every hour, whatever the case may be, to make sure that there is no problem. This is while you're repairing the door, or cables need to run past there for maintenance work or whatever the case may be, because a fire door will seal that entrance completely. So to blame anything like that on a minister is really problematic. You can blame all of Parliament, everyone that works there, all the parliamentarians, all the people that use the passages, all of them. You can blame them because if they are working there, often walking down the passages, seeing the fire escapes, seeing the doors being latched open, why has JP Smith or any of the other people there that have walked inside Parliament not said something about it before? If you know that a fire door should be closed based on your knowledge as a normal citizen and of that skill and level as being a public representative, and you do not report it, you should be culpable and criminally held liable. Not just the minister, all of you. And this is important to understand. These people have been using the building since forever. Do they even care about a fire sprinkler system? No. They only care about now that the place is burnt to the ground. Now they care about it. And this is more telling on the system failure. The fact that a party gang system can never have the best people in parliament or in provincial parliament or in local government in the council. It's not possible within this current system. So we have to change the system. The system has to be changed, and we need to directly elect our leaders. If you can educate the electorate first, so that they understand what it is to elect a representative, then you can go to a direct election system where you are able to elect people that will at least know that a fire door should be shut, or that a fire sprinkler system should be active. And you should be wanting to ask questions like that. All over the world, in petrochemical industries, in the nuclear industry, in the power generation industry, there are people everywhere, normal workers, that understand these things because it's part of the induction training. There's also induction training given for members of parliament. They are trained with regards to access routes, to leave the building, evacuation routes, muster points. They are trained with regards to fire hose reels, fire extinguishers, etc. Maybe more should be done, but there isn't nothing done. So they are culpable. In any other industry, people will be held culpable. There will be a work stop called, and then they will say, we need to fix this from scratch. Our culture is wrong. So the culture of the people attending the House of Parliament is not just inferior, it's completely and utterly lacking of any sophistication, which means that all the parties represented there, they are not up to the task, because it takes one person, only one person, to say, listen, this is a problem. Not one of them said, we cannot go on, there's a latch on the freaking fire door, this is unacceptable, illegal, and makes the fire door invalid because it's not closed. The fire door can only function if it's closed. This is a simple thing to understand. So, the sub-headlines I will cover quickly. Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Patricia de Lille may have misled Parliament after she stated that the sprinkler system was fully functional. Now, when she said that, it was based on the reports that were signed off by professionals. How professional are these professionals? I don't know. I cannot make that statement. I don't know who did the inspection. I wasn't with them. I've done many fire system inspections in my life, signed off to say that the equipment works or whatever the case may be. So I'm familiar with this. This is something I'm deeply familiar with. And this is why when I see how the media reports, I have a huge problem with them saying de Lille accused of misleading Parliament on state of Parliament sprinkler system, and then it says she may have misled Parliament. A report compiled by the City of Cape Town's Fire Department's post-incident report into the blaze, that they can't even put a sentence together properly, that ravaged Parliament, said the National Assembly sprinkler valve had not been serviced since 2017. Now, this valve might have a service interval of 5 years. Saying it hasn't been serviced since then doesn't say that it missed a service. What it's saying is that it wasn't serviced since then. So what is a service interval? What valve are you talking about? Are you talking about a deluge valve? Are you talking about a manual isolation valve? If a manual isolation valve is in an open freaking position, why do you need to service it? It is open. So what they are saying here makes no sense. This is trying to create blame where there is none. The Acting Director General for the department's Imtiaz Faisal, said the department was aware of the release of the city's fire and rescue services reports. But they will obviously respond to this. Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Patricia de Lille stands accused of misleading Parliament after she said earlier this week that the sprinkler system was fully functional after the fire that ravaged the building. De Lille told the Joint Standing Committee on the Financial Management of Parliament on Tuesday that the sprinkler system had been fully functional since October 2021. The reason why she's saying that is because that's when it was last signed off by professionals, checked all over. So either these professionals weren't doing their job, I don't want to speculate, or they were just incompetent. And I'm not sure that they would want to be incompetent on a national key point. So you can either not do the job, sign it off, make as if you did, make the money, or you are incompetent. I don't believe that these fire officials that do these inspections would have that level of incompetence. I'm not saying that they're the best, but they should not be that incompetent. However, it emerged in a report compiled by the City of Cape Town's Fire Department's post-incident report into the blaze that the National Assembly sprinkler valve had not been serviced since 2017 and was closed at the time of the fire. Now, not being serviced and being closed are two very different things. Being closed is a serious problem. Now, it might be closed because there were issues downstream. In other words, water was leaking from either a causeway bulb or something, or if it was a deluge valve, the deluge valve was passing, in which case you have to close it. Otherwise, you're going to have water destroying the building, the same way the fire did. So, in that case, and hopefully in future we'll get the full story, the valve has to be isolated and then they should work to completion to have the problem downstream resolved. And I don't know if that was the case, if the people were just taking a break over the Christmas or New Year period. And in that instance, you should have security on call, on duty, doing walks through the building, because that's sufficient to see whether a fire is breaking out or not. And then that person can go and manually open the valve and activate the system. So these are normal things that take place around the world. So there's nothing sinister about a valve being closed if there's a problem downstream, if you make it available, if you're busy doing patrols to check if a fire is breaking out or not. And if you do a patrol every half an hour, that should suffice in most situations. I can tell you by the time that they saw the fire and reported it, it had been going for a period of time. The report also stated a major contributing factor to the excessive heat and smoke encountered throughout the building was the latching of the fire doors into the escape staircases using small metal latches. I spoke about that at length. Any person that have seen this in the past is culpable. There is just no way around that. No fire door should have anything stopping it from being closed. If it's got a little block or something to stop it from being closed, there needs to be signs up to say that this fire door has cables running through here, or it's not fully functional, or there's something wrong with the latch, and there should be a fire watch on that door to make sure that if a fire happens, that someone manually closes it. For 3 years, the city has warned about fire hazards while doing inspections for the State of the Nation address documents proved. Now, this is normal. There are fire hazards all over Parliament. If there's wood, material or anything, if there's fuel, there is fire hazard, especially if you have electrical cabling and you can get shorts, etc. This is nothing new. I don't see anything specific that makes me think, flip, this was actually very severe and should have been taken care of immediately. There might be something like that in the report, but it's not being reported here. And then the DA gets involved, attacking De Lille. We cannot allow the minister and the department to evade accountability. Minister De Lille must come clean about the failings of a department to protect our heritage. This is Graham Marie adding that De Lille should come clean. And, De Lille will be attacked. She was having negotiations with the ANC just before she went to the DA. And it looks like the ANC has just been using her. Go and destroy the DA, please. We'll give you a nice cushy seat as a minister. You'll earn a fat salary, and then we'll screw you over with a parliamentary fire. That's basically what it looks like to me at the moment. And Faisal added the reports from the city's fire and rescue are addressed by the regional manager of the National Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. He said, in these reports for the new assembly building, the chief fire officer's report identified minor concerns with regards to signage, color, and positioning, as well as a query on the status of the communication system for emergency evacuation. That is not a train smash. Okay, that's what these reports are for, is to recommend improvements. For the old assembly building, additional signage and fire panels and phones that we need of repair were identified in the reports. Now, a phone is not going to stop the fire. You can report the fire from a phone such as that. But you can also use a fire extinguisher, the nearest one, and attack the fire and put it out. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the witch hunt, which is basically a DA witch hunt against the Lil, but it's clear that she is going to be thrown under the bus. But I can't wait to see how Auntie Pat is going to come out swinging with the boxing gloves as she had in the posters all over for the elections, and how all her stooges, the people that protect her, some of them people with serious connections, how they will come out fighting for her. And it's going to be an interesting time. Will they support her? Will they dump her? What will happen? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, there is a lot more to this. And another video I do today will deal with the hawks and the spread of serious misinformation. Remember the meeting I had with the hawks and everything that went down? Similar tactics being used right now with the accused, a person that was arrested outside of Parliament. And it's going to be interesting when I give you my perspective on this. Thank you very much. Till the next video.